Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a real pleasure for me to be part of the opening this year of the European Big Data Value Forum. It is a great opportunity, and I would like to start by thanking the organizers for maintaining this event this year, and also our host in Germany for contributing to this event. This event this year is unique. It's unique not only because of the crisis, this horrible crisis that is affecting us all, and the fact that with that we are obliged to go for online conference and virtual presence. It is also unique because it brings together different communities, from the AI and algorithm community to, of course, the data and data analytics community, to the instantiation of AI and data into physical artifacts, the robotics community, whole spectrum of stakeholders that used to work in parallel tracks. Now it's important that they come together, and this event is made for that and gives this opportunity for this integration. This coming together is important. As we know, and both data and AI are today key priorities for the Union. It is illustrated by the fact that the two first policy initiatives that were proposed by the College of Mrs. von der Leyen, the new Commission, were on AI and data. It's not by chance. It is because of the fact that the digital transition is a key policy priorities of the Union. It's part of the two policy priorities, the two what we call twin transitions, the digital and green transitions. And making the digital transformation success for Europe is a key priority, key policy objective for the Union as a whole. It is illustrated as well by the recent Council conclusions, the head of states, confirming the importance of the succeeding in the digital transformation of the Union, and also illustrated by the different announcements from the Commission, including the latest speech of Mrs. von der Leyen on the State of the Union almost a month ago, where she highlighted how important for Europe is to seize the opportunities that are coming from the digital transformation to bring its benefits to all our citizens and our businesses. And within our policy for the digital transformation, key pillar is on data and AI. These two initiatives that were launched in January, we've been working on implementing them. And what I would like to do is just brief you on where we stand. If we start with data, what we have proposed for data is a two-track initiative that you will find similar in AI. And in fact, data and AI are completely connected, and you cannot dissociate one from the other. But for data itself, we had two tracks of actions, one on the legal framework and completing the legal framework on data. Today we have three big legislations on data. One is around personal data, which is the GDPR, as you know, is unique. The second is around open data, and this is about the exploitation of public sector information and its use. And the third is about free flow of data that ensures the flow of data across Europe. We're completing this, and this is what we announced in the data strategy, and we'll be proposing first legislation now in the coming weeks, with first legislation that is on data sharing. And it's about creating the right conditions for the sharing of data between the different stakeholders, including first what we call secondary use of data. So data is held by the public sector, but that can contain personal data as well, but that can be used in line with the GDPR for different types of application, notably for innovation and for addressing societal challenges in areas of public interest. This is health data. This is data held by the Social Security, for example, and that can be reused or fixed. With this act that will come now, we call the Data Governance Act. We will fix the framework or clarify the framework for this data to be used and how it can be used. We will also address data donation and data altruism, extremely important for the data sharing and for the exploitation of data for the future. And we will address also the role of intermediaries in making data shared between private sector and between businesses. This is the Data Act, Governance Act, that will come in the few weeks. It is a key framework for data sharing that will help us implement what we call common data spaces that we announced in our data strategy. And these are common data spaces that help us aggregate data across Europe, and that we'll be investing in. I'll come back to that in our investment track. But they need a legal framework that facilitates the use and the establishment of these common data spaces. That's one act. The other data legislation that will come beginning of next year, or first semester next year, will be around data and competition. Will be on data as an asset and how to have a fair framework for the use and the exploitation and the sharing of data. These two legislations will complement the three and will help us have a complete data framework, legal framework that will make Europe a hub for data for the future. This is our ambition, as making Europe the data hub, the place where data can be captured and can be used, can be exploited, can be shared in a trustful way and a clear and transparent way, preserving our privacy, but also preserving the interests of our public sector and the interests of our businesses. Essential. In addition to adjusting and adapting our legal framework on data, we also proposing an investment in data, because what we would like, in order to make Europe the hub for data, what we'd like is to have the industry, the technology, and the know-how in Europe to store the data, to capture and to compute the data. And we would like to have that also with a strong industry that can supply all the technologies and all the infrastructures that are needed for data. And that's why we're proposing an important investment to be done together with industry, with the member states, around a common data project for the future. That will help us address three layers. The common data spaces that I mentioned, and we have proposed to put 1.2 billion to 1.5 billion euros from the Digital Europe program in developing and implementing these common data spaces. It's really about the deployment of data. It's capturing data in different sectors from health. And we knew through the crisis today how important is health data to be able to manage the pandemics, predict its development, etc. Health, but also common data spaces for environment, essential also to be able to capture and to understand better our environment and be able to react to environmental developments. Also data for agriculture, data for our mobility, for our transportation system, for our energy, and data also for our industry. So common data spaces that our industry can share and use. And we've been co-investing with the member states and industry in the setting up of these common data spaces, 1.2 billion from us. This is the layer, one of the layers that we would like to address in our data project. But what is important also is the intermediary layer, this platform that will enable the aggregation of the demand, making users be able to choose where they would like to store their data and where they would like to exploit and how they would like to share this data, and will have at the same time to federate the supply. And that intermediary layer is the layer that the Gaia-X, Franco-German project, is developing. And what we would like to do is building on Gaia-X to expand its use, to reinforce its use, and to make it available EU-wide. We will invest also, and really extremely important, in the basic infrastructure, into our cloud and computing and data storage capacity. We would like to have an industry that is strong in Europe, that can offer these capacities for the future and that seizes the opportunities that are arising today and the new architecture for the cloud and for the data infrastructure that is more at the edge, that is more energy efficient, that is more secure, and that is a combination of different types of architecture at the edge, centralized, but also at the edge, where there's embedded computing capacities. This will enable us to have distributed AI that will have data as close as possible and to be accessible in real time in the most secure and the most energy efficient way. There are huge opportunities that our industry can seize, and we would like to build a strong supply industry in Europe, seizing these opportunities for the future. This is the common project that we would like to invest in with the member states and with industry. And we're very happy that the German presidency has convinced all member states to engage with us in such an investment. We can put around 2 billion euros in building these data and cloud capacities for the future from the EU side. This is what we have promised, and we can generate this from the Digital Europe program, from Horizon Europe, and from the Connecting Europe facility for the future. But this would not be sufficient if the member states do not come in, and if industry does not come in into a common project for the future. We need around 10 billion euro to be able to achieve our ambitions on these three layers. Common data spaces that are available, that are exploitable, the tools for exploiting them, a platform that helps users to choose where they would like to put their data, how they would like to share it, which type of application they would like to use, and a strong compute and data storage industry in Europe. That's what we hope to be able to do, and that we're very happy with the declaration that I mentioned before that all member states have signed to, with the support of the German presidency, to engage together in such a project, building and reinforcing our data capacities for the future. In addition to data, we're investing in AI, and we have our white paper that have been proposed on artificial intelligence. And really, we got very, very good input on it, and a wide input, more than 1,500 responses, including a large number coming from associations, which means a larger response really across all stakeholders, academia, industry, member states. Very good input that confirmed a large part of what we have proposed in the white paper on AI that came in January last year. The white paper clusters our activity into two ecosystems, similar as we do for AI. An ecosystem around the legal and ethical issues. And we know for artificial intelligence how difficult and how challenging are the ethical issues in particular. People fear artificial intelligence, they fear transparency, they fear that AI will replace human beings, and they fear about the robustness and etc. There are a lot of fears around the development of this technology, but there are also a lot of hopes, and this is what our analysis and the interaction, the dialogues that we have with citizens, with stakeholders show. They show that there are a lot of hopes, there are a lot of also expectations from the development of AI, but also a lot of fears also and concerns that we need to address. And hence the importance of having a legal framework that guarantees a trustful and citizen-centric artificial intelligence and a development that is in line with the aspirations of our citizens for transparency, for respect for fundamental rights, for robustness, for real trustful development of the technology and its applications. The high-level expert group on AI that we have set up almost 2 years ago now has given us very good input that has that we translated into the proposal that are in the white paper. And out of that and out of the consultations and the input that we received following the white paper, we will come with a legal framework at the beginning of next year on artificial intelligence that will be proportionate, that will help drive innovation, not stifle innovation, drive innovation that will address these key fears, and that will create a stable and clear legal framework for the development of artificial intelligence that will avoid us taking unnecessary risks with the technology while helping its development and its wide use. The value added of AI will come from its use across all sectors of the economy, and we know its benefits across the board. This is what the legal framework will do, and it will come by the beginning of next year. And it will be also complemented by what we call the ecosystem of excellence that we try to develop around AI. This is excellence in knowledge, excellence in the skills that we have, excellence also in the way we diffuse the technology, and we tested and experimented across all sectors of the economy and in areas of public interest. And there we propose to have also a very significant investment, both in reinforcing our research excellence, so in the academic research, and in bringing together the academic community around key tracks and focused areas to really maintain and reinforce European excellence in artificial intelligence. And also investments that would be in industrial research and development to bring the knowledge in the academic community to industry and accelerate the uptake by the market through testing and experimentation facilities. We will be supporting this from the Horizon Europe, supporting this also from the Digital Europe program, Horizon Europe on research and development, Digital Europe on deployment and building capacities, on testing and experimentation facilities. And we're working with that with the member state in a coordinated action plan that we will be updating by the end of the year as well to make sure that we articulate better our efforts at EU level, at national level, in the public sector and the private sector. This is for building up an ecosystem of excellence in knowledge, but also in the exploitation of knowledge and its wider diffusion across Europe through digital innovation hubs and through testing and experimentation facilities in all different areas of AI. AI and data, as you can see, and the two strategies go hand in hand. You need data for AI, and AI will help us exploit data and make sure that its benefits are widespread. For both actions, what we need is work in partnerships. For AI, for data, we have the partnership now with the member states, and we will be coming by the end of the year with an alliance around data to make our project that I mentioned a reality, a big alliance on data and cloud that we will build up with industry and that we're working on now on preparing for it. That will be announced by the end of the year. And on artificial intelligence and data and robotics, we will also be working with the academic and industrial community in particular to build up a partnership for research development. And this is the gathering today is really a major step forward. And we're very happy that the big data value PPP, the robotics PPP, and the AI community are coming together now and developing a common roadmap that we hope will be very soon able to formalize it into a partnership, a roadmap for research, development, and innovation, and the deployment of the technology for the future. This partnership, we count a lot on it to help us focus our work on research development, but also, as I mentioned, on the deployment of the technology. The declaration and commitment from the member states, the coordinated action plan with the member states on AI, the declaration on data, the alliance in order to make sure that we build a strong industry on data capacities, the partnership for the research, development, innovation, and development are key tools for us to work together in order to make Europe a leader in data and artificial intelligence. We are committed from the EU side, from the Commission side, to make that ambition a reality. And I know that this is also the commitment from all member states, and we're so happy of it. And I know that the industry, we can count on the industry and academic community on this. I thank you very much, and I hope that you will be discussing these issues in this event today and tomorrow, and I wish you a very successful discussion. Thank you very much.